A Tory aide today cleared of raping a woman in the Westminster office of his MP boss said he has not slept for a year as he battled the allegations. Samuel Armstrong wiped away tears as he was found not guilty at Southwark Crown Court following an emotional 7-day trial. Samuel Armstrong, 24, was cleared of rape today after a high-profile case at Southwark Crown Court. Samuel Armstrong with former Prime Minister David Cameron. The Chief of Staff to Tory MP Craig McKinlay held back tears as he was cleared of rape. The 24-year-old said his life was turned upside down after he was accused of attacking the woman colleague as she slept in the Houses of Parliament after a night drinking. His trial heard the woman felt like a hostage when he was alleged to have attacked her in October last year. CCTV footage played in court showed her running through the palace corridors at 2 a.m. before she grabbed a cleaner's arm and begged for the police to be called. Mr. Armstrong's defense branded his accuser's account as a merry-go-round of lies. Mr. Armstrong gave a statement outside court after he was cleared of raping a colleague. Mr. Armstrong described his horrific ordeal after being falsely accused of rape. Armstrong with former Cabinet Minister Nicky Morgan. He was accused of raping a woman in a Westminster office. Sarah Forshaw QC, representing Mr. Armstrong, said in her closing statement their complainant had a troubled past and felt unable to go back on her allegation. The accuser, in her 20s, was described as something of a sexual sophisticate who was confident, assertive, and independent, Ms. Forshaw added. Armstrong was accused of taking the drunk woman to a sofa and putting on jazz music before lunging at her. He grabbed her hair and raped her a second time during a humiliating attack, jurors were told. Andrew and Amanda Armstrong, parents of Samuel Armstrong, leaving the court after their son was cleared, but Armstrong insisted their sex was consensual and said the woman made all the appropriate noises. In an emphatic statement outside court, relieved Mr. Armstrong said, "My whole life has been turned upside down. For a year I have not slept or eaten, and I was innocent. Were it not for the fact that crucial evidence was disclosed to my defense team just 8 working days before trial, there could well have been yet another miscarriage of justice in this case." It is understood the evidence he referred to are the phone and medical records which the complainant initially refused to hand over to police. It is also believed Armstrong's lawyers had been waiting for up to 9 months for their material. "I have been unable to work. I have been unable to sleep. For several weeks I have been unable to eat. I have been very sick indeed." Samuel Armstrong, Mr. Armstrong's boss, South Thanet MP Craig McKinlay, described their close relationship as that of father and son. In a tweet after the trial he wrote, "I am very pleased for Sam, a young man whose life has been destroyed over the past 14 months. Debate now needed over anonymity of those accused, especially in a week where actions of their authorities in such cases have been found wanting." The jury of 7 women and 5 men deliberated for 5.5 hours before finding him not guilty of 2 counts of rape, 1 sexual assault and 1 offense of assault by penetration. "I am very pleased for Sam, a young man whose life has been destroyed over the past 14 months. Debate now needed over anonymity of those accused, especially in a week where actions of the authorities in such cases have been found wanting." https://t.com/lights Craig McKinlay MP at McKinlay December 21, 2017. Mr. Armstrong wiped his eyes with a handkerchief as the verdict was delivered before his father hugged him. His parents Andrew and Amanda supported their son from the public gallery every day of his trial. In an earlier statement on the allegations, Mr. Armstrong, of Chelmsford, Essex, had said, "I trusted her enormously. She was someone who shared an awful lot with me. It was foolish. It was an act of enormous foolishness, and as a consequence I have had the worst year of my life. I have been unable to work. I have been unable to sleep. For several weeks I have been unable to eat. I have been very sick indeed." Mr. Armstrong's 7-day trial ended in him being cleared of rape. He added, "All I would say is while what I did was foolish, The point is I'm innocent of this, and for whatever reason somebody is trying to make a horrible allegation. While it is embarrassing and I have suffered and I am never ever going to get my career back, that is not the point. The point is, on this allegation somebody is trying to send me to prison for a very long time for something I didn't do. The verdict will raise further questions about the handling of rape accusations following the bombshell collapse in the trial of London student Liam Allen last week. Police investigators sat on crucial text message evidence from his accuser that proved their sex was consensual. In another police bungle, no evidence was provided against aide Isaac Ishery, 25, as a child rape case against him was dropped this week. Writing for The Sun today, Tory MP Nigel Evans, who himself was cleared of rape, called for a tougher stance on disclosure of vital evidence. He wrote, "The law clearly has guidelines on the conduct of investigations and the necessity for relevant information to be assessed by the Crown and, if charge follows, for that information to be provided to both prosecution and defense. This simply did not happen. We pay for your stories. Do you have a story for The Sun Online News team? Email us at tips@thesun.co.uk or call 0207 782 4368. We pay for videos too. Click here to upload yours.